Don't settle for a path that isn't your own. For a white picket one-way ticket. Say no to comfortable, to safe, the easy way. Don't aspire for 9 to 5, zero drive, wonder, am I alive? Don't settle for a job you want to snooze the alarm on. If it doesn't set your soul on fire, keep searching, you've got time. Don't settle for closed minds, signs of the times, for coloring inside the lines. Don't settle for regret, for okay, for good, for great. Why stop there? Be better, do better. Better design, better brands, better business. Then, better your best. Don't settle for being a supporting character in someone else's story, for playing it small, playing it safe, playing for the rule makers, the takers. Salute the game shakers. Then, become one. Don't settle for ceilings when the stars are in clear sight.
Hi there, and welcome to a conversation with Vega's postgraduate team. We are a very proud brand of the Independent Institute of Education, and we offer qualifications from higher certificate level right through to a doctorate in brand leadership. 3 portfolios that we are active in: the world of design, brand and communication strategy, as well as brand and business modeling. We understand the relationship between brand and business and why it is that organizations are informed by a very unique and meaningful reason for existing. You're making an important choice, which postgraduate program to invest in, and importantly, what institution and community of colleagues to join. In making that choice, I encourage you to consider 3 factors. First of all, to what extent are you meeting up with a community of lecturers who are also practitioners? They are as passionate about the projects that they are engaged with in industry as they are passionate about their own academics and the field of research that they're invested in. Second factor, to what extent are you meeting up with a community that you'll be collaborating with in transdisciplinary teams, working with designers as much as you will be working with business practitioners? And finally, a community of people that you know will be joining you in industry as change makers. And the world certainly needs more creative solution seekers. Welcome to a conversation with our alumni, with our navigators, our lecturers, and those leaders in industry that we have very close relationships with.
Pretty. Good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us. My name is Annelie Grobler. I'm one of the senior lecturers in our postgrad program, currently a lecturer here on our Bordeaux campus in Johannesburg. And today I've got the privilege of chatting to two of our students, one an alumni. We've got Shavar Raju, who's been a Veganite and is part of our alumni and is going to share with you some of his thoughts and what he's learned throughout the years. And then our current student, Andile Ngwenya, who is currently busy with his PG dip. And we've asked them to come and chat to you today to really give you a great understanding of why Vega and why postgraduate studies. So good day, the two of you. I'm going to hand over to you to introduce yourself a little bit and tell us more about you. Shiva, if you will please tell us who and what and where are you currently in this world?
No problem at all. Thanks so much for having me, first of all, Annelie. But, so my name is Shiva Raju, and I graduated from Vega with an honors in STBC. So that was Strategic Brand Communications in 2019. And it was actually quite a long journey for me over the 4-year journey, because I didn't just get that honors straight away. I was at Vega for 4 years doing my higher certificate in brand and marketing management, then doing my standard degree in strategic brand communications. And I decided to follow it up with my honors degree. And before this actual degree on my journey in Vega, I was actually working for a company during my studies. I was working with IIE-Innovate, and if you're a Vega student, you may know them as one of our brand challenge clients. And that was the journey that put me into my job today as a lead program operations and communications manager for this institution.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. So lovely to hear the journey as well. We have quite a few Veganites that start with the undergrad and move over to the postgrad. But you, Andile, you're not a Vega undergrad. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Awesome. So thank you so much for having me, Annelie. My name is Andile Ngwenya. I'm originally from Durban, but I'm currently a student at Vega at the Bordeaux campus, and I'm studying towards my postgraduate diploma in brand building. As I don't have a very good background, so I did my undergrad at the UKZN, University of KwaZulu-Natal, and I did a BCom in marketing management. But interesting enough is that I didn't start off marketing. I went in thinking I wanted to be an accountant. And I was just like, this is not for me. I was not happy. I would actually go do some back work at one of the leading auditing firms in the country. And every time I was there, I was just like, this is not for me. And when I wanted to change, everybody actually was like, Andile, I think marketing, that type of space is for you. And that's how I ended up going into marketing. And then now I'm at Vega, but there's been a break between that, also between my undergrad and my Vega qualification.
Good, lovely. So we're so happy to have you. We have a lot of students that actually, their journey goes through for all different types of degrees. And I think that is one of the beauties of studying at Vega, especially in our postgrad space. You will be surrounded by students with different backgrounds, different degrees, but all now very focused and wanting to learn more about how to build strong brands, because we do know brands cause business, and that's the future. So I think if both of you can also just share with us a little bit why at the end Vega. We know, Shiva, you now did the undergrad and the whole journey here, but ultimately, do you think where you're sitting now that Vega gave you that differentiating factor? Tell us a little bit more about why you believe Vega, and then Andile, it would be lovely if you can also share your thoughts on that.
Well, when Andile was speaking, it was quite, I was experiencing some deja vu there, because before I actually started my journey at Vega, I was studying law, the UNISA. And you come out of school, you think, oh, this is something I'm going to do. You think it's for you. And I was doing well. And while I was continuing with that degree, a lot of my friends were studying marketing at Vega. And they said, Shiv, this is something that you need to consider, because it's something that will really give you that holistic skill set that you're begging for practically. And when I just decided to leave that and come to Vega, it was only then where I really feel like bit of a stereotypical answer, but I found myself, I felt like I could think for myself. I felt like I had the skill set that branched into project management, brand and marketing management, innovation, media studies, and all of that. So I felt like I was very prepared for a very, very flexible workforce role, and I wasn't just locked down into something specific.
Yeah, great. Yeah, because we do, and especially in our postgrad, make sure that we cover multiple facets of what it means to build a strong brand. And Andile, you with more, yes, slightly, accounting background now, understanding business. How does it feel now to be part of the Vega focused brand orientated courses? Yeah, please share with us a little bit why Vega, and are you actually happy? Do you think you've actually learned something in this last 6 months?
Definitely, I have learned a lot. So for me, choosing Vega obviously took some time. I had to do a bit of research, spoke to a couple of people, and I felt that Vega would be the school that would set me up for success, to be, that multifaceted individual going into the work. I believe that, upon my research, I realized that Vega is quite the industry leader, when it comes to design, brand, and business. And I wanted that, competitive advantage when going into the workforce, and hence me choosing Vega. And, when I read about Vega and the things that they do, brand challenge, brand activation, all those wonderful things that sort of create what the real world will look like, that for me was very important. I want that practical, experience, although I'm not in the real workforce, but Vega, I believe, does a great job in creating that. And, I believed it's through all of these wonderful things that Vega has put in place that would actually unleash the creative and critical problem solver that I believe that I am and want to be in the world. So that's why I chose Vega.
Hey, lovely. You mentioned brand challenge. I'll get back to brand challenge soon, but I think something I also want you both to discuss, please, is your thoughts and ultimately experience. Andile, you're currently busy, but Shiva, you've already completed a postgraduate study. And we know our students that are now listening in and listening to the two of you, they're contemplating, should or should I not do a postgrad study? So can you just share your thoughts on why you believe a postgrad study is so important? And let's maybe start with Shiva. You've already qualified now, you've done your studies 2 years or so back. Do you think it's really helped you, and in what way?
So I think that a postgraduate study or degree at Vega, I think it's imperative. I think that it is so important, and it's aided in putting me into the position I am today. So if you've done your degree at Vega, you'll notice that it follows a set curriculum that's psychologically implementing how you approach and learn specific topics. So by the first year, you're easing into your degree. A lot of things are given to you, a lot of answers, just like that. So you don't really have to branch out in research. It's teaching you the basics. It's easing you into that degree. And then by the time you get to second year, you notice that that you're getting a bit smart right now. So you're learning to take information from other sources all over the place with your lecturers assisting you. And then finally, by third year, you're the hot shot now, essentially. You're taking information from all over the place. You're bringing in your own knowledge. But the most important thing about a postgraduate studies is definitely, and from my campus, the Narieta, the principal there, she will tell you that the reverse classroom experience is core to this curriculum. Not only are you looking for information, researching it, but you're actively contributing to a body of knowledge. You're now not just researching the information, you are creating it. You're creating it. And that's what's the most important thing about postgraduate studies. It's teaching you that you have the ability to think for yourself and create this information that is academically viable to be used by professionals.
Yeah, that's so lovely. And I studied on our Durban campus. But Andile, you mentioned you're here on Bordeaux and Johannesburg with us. Have you experienced the same with what Shiva said? You're currently in class. Do you see a bit of a flipped classroom where it's very intimate, where we really throw it back to you, ask you to come up with, you need to do, you need to act? It's not just us giving you textbook heavy stuff.
Actually, I agree, and I share the same sentiments with Shavar in that, it is that reverse classroom experience. It's sort of our navigators sort of facilitate, but we're the ones actually doing most of the work, as you said, contributing to the body of knowledge and all of those wonderful things. And that's why I think a postgraduate qualification is important. And I'll speak from maybe people who don't come from a Vega background, and that coming into Vega and just doing a postgraduate qualification, it sort of expands your knowledge, and it helps you acquire new knowledge. I think for me, my undergrad, yes, it was great. It was great on the theory side, but once I got to it and I got to Vega, it opened that theory. It sort of gave that theory life, and it made it more practical, and I had to infuse all of that and learn new things on top of that. So, postgraduate is very important for that. And also, I see it as a way to help you become more employable, because a lot of us obviously want to get employed after that. So doing a postgraduate diploma, sort of a postgraduate qualification, sort of sets you apart from others. And so that's the reason I think a postgraduate is important.
Yeah, I know. I want to echo that as well. I do think we see it, and Andile in class, we discuss it as well with our guests that come in, and we get a lot of guests to come and chat to our students, but they all are asking for who's your best postgraduate student. They're all looking for postgrad students, and I think, again, our program really helps you to get yourself ready for the work environment. Another thing that gets you ready for work environment that you probably, all of you listening, have already heard of, and if you have not, these two will share with you their thoughts on it, is the brand challenge. Now, Andile is anticipating it next semester, but he's heard a lot about it. Shavar, you've been involved, and as a Vega undergrad, you obviously already also had some experience in an undergrad. But for postgrad, we also embrace brand challenge, where we get brands to brief us on real live briefs, and you then as students work in what we would call consultancies or agencies, smaller groups, on the brand, on the brief, 3-4 weeks dedicated to it, and ultimately you guys present back to the client, not to us. And as lecturers, we just facilitate you through the process. But Shavar, please share a little bit on your experience. I mean, how hectic was it? How great a learning curve was that? Was it worth it? Yeah, please share with us your experience.
I'd love to, Anne-Lee. So brand challenge was something, when I was in the second year of my degree, it was something we were really building up towards. It was something every student was waiting for, to see how they would manage when an actual work environment is simulated. And in second year, I was approached by an institution known as IIE-Innovate. And if that sounds familiar, that is the institution I currently work for. So, so what IIE-Innovate wanted to do is they came up to our agency for Brand Challenge with a specific objective. They wanted us to look at innovative methods to implement STEM education initiatives, so STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. They wanted us to implement these STEM initiatives into their current programs and into schools that they were planning to meet with the following year. And this company was absolutely amazing because they didn't just take any kind of curriculum or program and want us to implement it. They had international relations with companies such as NASA that wanted to link programs on the International Space Station and experiments currently ongoing there right now with any educational institutions. And they approached our agency here at Vega. And it was intense. At first it felt like I was thrown in the deep end. There was so much research to be done. There was so much you needed to do. And it felt like I was project managing this whole initiative as the brand strategist, because brand strategy is all about essentially project managing an entire brand's equity. And that's what makes strategy so amazing. It encompasses so many skill sets. And over the 3 to 4 weeks of Brand Challenge, we managed to put together a pitch with our agency. And the company absolutely loved it. You know, we talked about all these initiatives, bringing down astronauts, creating these campaign rollouts and activations. The visual and graphic designers created such beautiful visuals to go with it. And the institution absolutely loved it. Now, this was my essentially first experience being in a marketing agency. And it was something that I was so mesmerized with that I wanted to take it a step further. So when I got to honors, I messaged the CEO of IIE-Innovate, and I messaged her and I said, you know what, working with you during Brand Challenge was such an incredible experience. With what I'm doing in my postgraduate studies, I want to take it a step further and I want to project manage a new initiative you're doing. And using everything I learned during Brand Challenge and my postgraduate studies, I put that together and created a proposal for them. This incorporated everything from a customer relationship management to metrics and impact reports to general brand strategy and project management. And I put this together for them. And this pitch was so successful that they actually sent down an astronaut from the US to become a part of this activation. And this led me to the job I have as a lead program operations and communications manager with IIE-Innovate today. And that all started from this company approaching Vega and Vega implementing this in an agency situation for Brand Challenge.
Ah, Shiva, what a beautiful, lovely story. And one, you know, one of many, I must say, and I can say, you know, with all honesty and pride, that the beautiful relationships we have with our clients that come into a brand challenge, see the students work, see their graft, see how they apply themselves, and are more than often so, you know, impressed by your work. And then often, you know, job opportunities arise from that. So well done to you and your initiative that you took. And that's the type of student and the type of thinking that we love and that we cultivate here at Vega. So yeah, if you're keen and are inspired by Shiva's story, you know, that's I think one of the other reasons why you should consider doing a postgrad here at Vega. So Andile, I know you're still waiting for next semester for it to happen. I do have a question though to you. You've decided, coming from a more financial, you know, initiative, but now, why do you think the world needs more strategic thinkers and more strategic brand builders? Because that's what you're studying towards, yes? What do you think?
That's a good question. You know, I think it's something that you mentioned in the beginning, that brands build business. You know, it's all about making sure that, you know, a business or understands who they are and, you know, who they want to be seen in the world. And that all starts with, you know, what is done inside the company in building that brand through their brand positioning and brand identity and all of those things. And it needs people like Shiva and like us, or anyone who's interested in becoming, you know, that creative thinker and that problem solver, to come in and actually, you know, make those, come up with those ideas that are going to sort of disrupt the industry and that are going to help brands, you know, become as big as they can, but most importantly, that are going to help businesses and brands sort of answer the questions that, you know, our consumers need and want, you know. So I think, yeah, it's important that, you know, the world has creative and critical thinkers, because those are the people that are going to sort of steer us ahead and going to answer those questions that we have as people.
Exactly. I just want to add on to what Andile said there, because I think that's another aspect that I really found that Vega gave me an opportunity there for, was where I was getting my name and my face out there. Before Vega, I was sitting on a computer, I was typing at my laptop for 6 hours, and that was it. And I was just submitting things online. With Vega, it really gave me the opportunity to get my face and my name out there, whether it's with all the calls I've been having with numerous stakeholders, or just getting out of the office and into the actual field, implementing specific projects. People know me, not just as a number. They know me and they have a name and a face to attach to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that really something that we really do offer, which we are very true to and very passionate about, is ensuring that we create networking opportunities for you, even though you're still a student. We do like to expose you to, the industry greats. We like to bring in agencies, we like to bring in consultancies, we like to bring in clients and give our students the opportunity to already work firsthand alongside them, with them. So by the time you graduate, you really already know what to expect and you don't go into the workforce blindly and often very scared. So James, thank you so much. I think that is us for now. I really appreciate your time. I think everybody who's listening and watching and are part of this conversation currently really appreciate you also sharing your experience, and thank you for waving the flag for Vega, and well done with all your success so far. Always lovely to have Shiva, our alumni, and Andile, seeing that you're still passionate and still with us and enjoying it. That's always great. And everybody, I hope this was also very helpful. We know these are big decisions. We know you need to think about it, but hopefully these two guys have given you some food for thought, and hopefully we will see you in future here at Vega. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Keep well. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello, future Veganites. Thank you for joining us for tonight's postgraduate evening. My name is Sofatso Leo, and I am a contact navigator at the IIE-Vega Johannesburg campus. I form part of a team dedicated to assisting you along your journey to becoming a Veganite. We deliver several IIE-Vega postgraduate degrees on campus, full-time, part-time, or even online. And our Contact Navigator team is ready to assist you with any queries. So please book a consult today. I hope this session has allowed you to better understand the value of an IIE postgraduate degree. To apply, simply visit our website at www.vegaschool.com, and one of our dedicated contact navigators will be standing by to assist you. And for any inquiries, feel free to reach out to us via our website, email, or our WhatsApp line. And we look forward to welcoming you as a Veganite.
Hi, my name is Ramona Casavan, and I am the founder and CEO of a business called Mimi Women. I started this journey 7 years ago after writing my honors postgraduate research paper on constructs of femininity in sanitary advertising. I didn't know that I'd be here today, but I am. My background includes a few things, but when I'm not being the pad girl in South Africa and the activist behind the campaigns, I am a media personality. I've been on national television. To date, I've been on 3 massive radio stations across Johannesburg, KwaZulu-Natal, and recently on Cape Town. I find myself as a weird creature, and my weird story actually begins at finding my place in the world after I joined Vega. I would say that I came from an environment where, and we know the stereotype of being a doctor, lawyer, and accountant. I didn't want to be that. I was a curious kid. I was a rebel. I love being interested in things, and my stimulation was actually based on how things worked. I was obsessed with brands in my late teens and early 20s, and I really remember Vega had started around that time during my my 3rd year. I have an undergraduate in social sciences after failing 1st year law beautifully. And for me, when I met my first lecturer in 2nd year, he was an odd man, but but he was in the arts and he was a creative, and until today I still speak to him, but he was the one who actually pushed this journey of saying you carry something. I don't know what that was at 19, but I remember listening in 2007 and 2008, and the ad was like something about Vega, and I remember saying, okay, I want to go there. And for me, I actually, with my perfectionism and high energy drive, I was registered as a final third year and at Vega, and something happened where we can't choose everything in life, right? So I failed. And I was just saying that I failed that research module only to write in 2009 the constructs of femininity in sanitary advertising in South Africa, to come up with what I actually do all these years later. So yeah, that's me and my story. So my academic career is very different. I studied first year law at University of KwaZulu-Natal, and for me that was there was a moment where at 18 years old where that career didn't speak to my soul. But weirdly enough, I learned later on that I was actually moving towards social justice. So being a social entrepreneur, which is what I am, I create change in the country by creating innovative solutions that work towards certain things. And for me, it was very, and my best friend for the last 17 years said this to me the other day at her house. She said, hey, remember when you went home after failing first year law to tell your dad you want to study marketing? And he was like, what is that? And coming from the background of a brother who's a scientist, it was a bit of a thing. But like really gladly enough, I have a mom that believes in my dreams. She's also an entrepreneur. So it was normal for me to choose these odd things and be a creative. I then went on to study at Vega. And now I have no shame in saying that I failed my first alchemy module, which is the research part. And I passed the second one, and I'm glad I did that because I failed forward and I failed quickly, and I loved that paper so much that I created a global brand with a local vision behind it. I'm very proud to share that because I want to lecture and I want to have an investment fund in the next 2 years, I have recently graduated with my master's in entrepreneurship and new venture creation from Wits Business School. That was a weird conversation that I had with Gordon Cook, who's the founder of Vega, and I didn't know. He told me, let's just wait a few years before you do a master's. And I heard now that Vega's busy with a PhD, and maybe next year when I sleep a bit more, I would do that. So yeah, that's my new career. Yeah, people will laugh at you. They'll always laugh at you. But when you move past that in your head and you move into freedom, which is not a word, it's a feeling, and you can really just live your best life based on what you want to do. Very few people live that. And for me, I hope that you find your purpose, and I hope you work hard at it, and I hope that you find the fulfillment in serving and doing all these amazing things that we do every day. Thank you.
Ready? Okay. Now, more than ever, in a world of uncertainty, we reflect. Never before has our planet needed change makers and game changers more. Those who refuse to accept, roll over, settle. Now more than ever, we need bravery. Say no to apathy, to indifference, to what can I do? To being beat. Now's the time to rise up, rise above, say yes to passion. Compassion is in fashion. Dash in forward, upwards and towards a future we want to live in. Pick up the pen. Now more than ever, we need creative minds, strategic leaders, brands built with purpose, businesses that look beyond the bottom line, who see sustainability as the starting line. It's time to rethink. Good thing us thinkers have been staring out of windows our whole lives, imagining better. Imagine that. An idea that changes the world is inside you. Now more than ever, there's hope. A hope that the greatest generation is coming up. A generation not defined by age, but by what it leaves behind. Now more than ever.
Be the greatest.
The greatest.
The greatest. The greatest generation.
Generation.
Ibang moloko o iphethile.
The best generation.
Ibang moetapele wa kamoso.
Iba sesona isizukulwane esiqabileyo. Be the greatest generation.
Be the greatest generation.
Be the greatest generation.